them coming is fine and fun, but those guys can leave whenever they want.
He's conservative, by
He's
the
the
way.
lunatic with his money.
I am a bit of a lunatic, yeah.
Hello, team, and welcome to the Two Fat Brokers podcast. In a very, very rapid U-turn or change of pace, we have decided that we have been very boring, and we thank you for sticking with us. And we've decided to introduce two more faces. Chaps, introduce yourselves.
Fabricio Saltini here again.
You've been
partner.
here before?
Hey, you've never been here, dude.
I've been in Pots.
Oh, right. Okay. Who hasn't?
Yeah, so I'm partnered with this little legend here at Eden Realty, and
Long live
brothers
Eden.
for some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for inviting me onto the podcast today. It's an honour to be sat with the gurus on...
It's because we're old.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I'll learn a thing or two. My name is Joe Butler. I've been working in the Dubai real estate now for a number of years. Maybe the reason why we're sat here is because, you know, I've started to dabble in a different industry where when I first came into real estate, it was mainly just selling, you know, typical off-plan kind of things. But we focus very heavily now on property redevelopment. And I think we've got some synergy with that. We've even got a project in Emirates Hills.
Yeah.
I'd love to show you. It's almost ready.
Yeah.
Probably about a month away from being done.
Amazing.
So, yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Cool.
Awesome.
Nice. And I'm Ben from Abu Dhabi.
Everybody knows who Ben from Abu Dhabi is. I hear you were stopped in the street the other day off the back of the Two Fat Brokers podcast.
Yeah, I've been recognised a couple of times.
Already?
God, how does that feel?
Got recognised on a plane once. That's quite embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah, I was flying economy. I know you don't know
Oh,
what
that's
that's
why. Dude, I'm just looking for my luggage. I'm just looking for
Barney's got an itch already.
So today we are going to talk about the impending crash of the UAE property market,
Which is not going to happen.
which is, that was clickbait by all accounts. So, you know, I think,
Well, why are people talking about it?
well, because of the real estate market in Abu Dhabi probably and in Dubai is at an all-time high. And, you know, what goes up must come down. So
I mean,
the general thing
in
is-
Abu Dhabi, it isn't. It's been, you know, lagged much behind Dubai, you know, in terms of growth. But obviously, yeah. I mean, is the Dubai real estate market higher than it was in 2008 now?
It is
Yeah,
an all-time
it is
high.
high,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
So
believe
people are nervous.
Well, I mean, I think if I may interject, one of the psychological things about this is there's a lot of people who wish they'd bought 2 or 3 years ago, and people who have missed the boat cannot wait for that boat to come back, and so a lot of people are just going to be kicking themselves and talking about how we didn't buy because it was going to crash. Makes them feel better for missing an opportunity.
Yeah.
Is it going to crash?
I also think there's a lot of misleading information when you see like American real estate agents. You know, they come on here, they're like, the Dubai real estate market is finished, it's all fake, it's a bubble.
They would
talk,
know.
mate, just
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, exactly. But like, you know, they've never done any business here, and they just assume straight away. And then they make this big title. It goes viral because everyone would click on that video, clickbait. And then they spit a few facts, say it's linked to the American real estate market, like it's joined at the hip, and then it's just if that fails, we're gonna fail too.
But that's the thing about the American market and the UAE market. The American market depends on America doing well.
Yeah.
UAE market depends on a lot of people not doing well, and this is exactly what is happening right now. So
A lot of people elsewhere in the world.
yeah.
In this region.
you know, in the region, or not really in the region. I mean, UK market is second or third biggest buyer in Dubai right now, especially for our type of product, which is like ultra luxury. Majority of these buyers are London based, and they're ditching London for Dubai. And these guys, of course, they always came to Dubai. They probably have a couple of smaller houses here for the weekend, but now they're going full.
I don't think. I mean,
blast on.
if you look at it from a pragmatic, and this is using London as a micro market.
Here you
in
go,
itself.
from the English
London
guy's
isn't
mouth.
doing badly, right? London isn't doing badly, right? But people are looking at the UAE and going, it's much nicer over there,
Yeah.
right? The London real estate market is not struggling.
need 10 bodyguards to sit on a
Yeah.
coffee shop, right?
Yeah. You know, but that's the point. Is London isn't struggling. The US isn't struggling. From a social aspect, people are unhappy there, but the actual economies are not struggling. But people are looking elsewhere at other markets where they can be more comfortable.
Yeah.
And first on everyone's list right now is the UAE.
I actually did well, it's not out yet. I did a video comparable. So I got I have a data research guy, and I was looking at the similar price per square foot in popular areas. So we had Mayfair and the Palm. And a 2-bedroom in Mayfair was £11.5 million, which I think worked out around 50 to 55 million dirhams. So I was like, I made a video on comparing a 2-bed in Mayfair versus a garden home on the Palm. And there you go, what you just said, it just sums it up, right?
Yeah.
So
Tell us, Joe, what if someone wants to watch that video, where do they go?
they're going to go to my YouTube, and hopefully, if somebody's been, following me along, they're probably going to see my channel, because that's what. Actually, I was saying before, a lot of my business is coming from YouTube right now, and a lot of my buyers are from the UK.
Amazing.
A lot of people are just looking at Dubai now as the next destination to, like you just said, it's just so depressing right now, isn't it? Everyone's just complaining, everyone's just moaning. That's nothing new, right?
I always said, when people ask, when are you ever going to go back to the UK? I've always said, when everybody in the UK tells me how brilliant it is,
Yeah.
I'll head back there.
Yeah.
Everybody in the UAE is like, I love living here, this is amazing, I never want to go home. You're like, okay, fine, well then I'll stay.
So to get back to the topic, what do you say to someone if they say, listen, I think Dubai market's going to crash?
It will do, at some stage.
But I mean, they think they're saying imminently. So what would it take for, I'm just going to say the Dubai market
Define a
to
crash.
crash?
Define a crash.
Well, I mean, prices to stop going up and then, start to tail off.
So look, if you don't mind me
please.
interrupting, after already interrupted. So basically, we had pretty much 3 big reasons for the Dubai market to crash in the past 2.5 years. We had the tech market crash the stock market crash in the US a year and a half, just off 2 years ago. That should have ricocheted here, and it didn't. And then we had a couple of massive events in the region that should have impacted here, and it didn't. Actually, a lot of people from those countries are coming here now for safety of their money and of their family. And now with the interest rates starting to go down, I think we might be looking into a hyper cycle, which we haven't seen before.
What's a hypercycle?
Basically, it
sounds great.
It's when everyone it's a cycle wearing a cape. No, so basically, every cycle have a initial time and a termination time. So by the time the cycle matures, where the price is supposed to go down, we'll have more pushes that will initiate another cycle. And with the interest rates going down, a lot of people have been holding up buying before, because the interest rate is so high, will now start buying. A lot of the very, very big guys that do always equity release on their properties will do now again, or will top that up, because they have an even bigger valuation on their properties right now, and they can get cheaper money. So I believe that.
So going back to Ben's question, though,
far from
what do you
crash.
think it would take, Joe? What do you think it would take for the market here to struggle, to suffer?
I mean, if I was going to say one sentence today, it would be a black swan event. I think that's the only thing that I would see today's real estate market like crashing heavily, because there's no reason. The market's so healthy right now, but I mean, how many people do you know at home? Oh, I'm moving to Dubai. Oh, I've got this friend who's moving
Half
to
of
Dubai.
Liverpool.
Everybody,
Even
Maybe
my friend,
90% of Liverpool.
my good friend from Sweden, who's a developer, is like, the Swedish market's dead. I'm going to move to Dubai. He's just moved over, and then he's said there's another few people here already. So it's not just like back in 2014. Now, I wasn't here. I know you guys may have been here, but I believe it was just more investors then and kind of people parking some money and leaving. But now it looks like everybody's living here, right?
I just had a chat today with one of our billionaire investors. I'm very proud to be knowing these guys, and he just told he's selling 2 of his last properties in Monaco. He's just going to keep one because that's where he stays, and he's going to put all the money in Dubai because it's way more active than Monaco.
Insane.
I mean, Monaco, I don't think is a massively active market, but it's safe.
Maybe, but
Well, I mean,
So-
I think in terms of like a black swan event, I mean, I think you're right. But what you can see is overconfidence in this market. If everyone's like, well, I'm going there because it's active, I'm going there because prices are going up, I'm going there, you start to move away from the fundamentals, and the fundamentals have been recently population increase, people coming into Dubai, and that drives the prices up, and also people looking, to capital flights mostly out of Russia and Ukraine and other kind of Central Asian countries. So what you don't want, basically, that will cause a bubble in the long term, is people coming to Dubai and investing because prices are going up. There's not a very good reason to invest.
You need
want
families and
the
people moving here, emigrating
you want
here.
business being created in Dubai.
But we
It's the
still,
same as Abu Dhabi,
we,
right?
we still have more people flying into Dubai than houses being handed over.
I don't think that's true.
It is.
Houses?
Yeah, apartments, units. Yeah.
Homes. Okay.
So there is a lot more people coming here.
I don't know the statistic. How many people are emigrating here?
I can give a number out of my head.
Us? Yeah.
Out of my head.
That's what we're here.
But
Head numbers.
I've seen the study. Later we'll put down there whatever.
So here's a question then: what part of the market do you think will slow down first? Because the ultra luxury market is just going insane.
Yeah.
That's not slowing
I think
down.
the main supply when the time comes is in apartments.
Yeah, of course,
in, 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartments.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the main supply is, and for this country to grow, it's bringing in a lot of families, and very few families want to move into apartments. They've got kids; they want to have that outdoor space. So I think when the time comes, that will be the demographic that slows the most. There's still a lot of young people coming, so 1 and 2 bedroom apartments will still be okay, but those larger ones that cater to families, I think are going to be the ones that struggle. And I think your safe money's in houses.
You still seeing off-plan selling?
Don't really do a lot of off-plan, but the guys, my friends at Unique Properties, they still can't get enough stock. Off-plan is still going very, very well. Not as well as it was last year, but this year they've not struggled.
I think the difference now with off-plan, because I've sold a lot of off-plan in my career, is that it's only a select few launches now that are selling out super fast. Before it was everything.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you're sort of like all your Nikhil products, your Maras products, those like big hitter products, but everything else that's kind of in that medium range, that's like, because I've noticed now, DLD waivers, all these offers.
Post handover payment plans.
Yeah, post handover
I've
payment
noticed
plans.
that.
15% commission,
They're advertising like quite a few on the radio now, and I
1%
hadn't
a
heard
month
that
as
before.
well.
Yeah, 1% a month post handover.
Hey, I was driving to by Sheikh Zayed to come here late. I'm sorry about it. And you see the billboards, and it's all real estate. Real estate.
Same as when you land here.
It's
through the airport, everything is real estate.
In all outdoors billboards you see in Sheikh Zayed Road, it's like 90%. It's a new project.
Then doesn't that make you worried then that it's a bubble? I mean, that's probably what people are seeing, and they're like, all I hear on the radio is real estate. All I see outside is real estate. Isn't that like a worry in and of itself?
Bubbles have.
I mean, it's all again. It's about population growth. Like you said, like we've always said, it's supply and demand. Like for any market, it's all about supply and
Basics,
demand.
yeah.
If your demand is outreaching your supply, then you got a problem. So then you don't have a problem. But as long as your supply keeps up with demand, you should see a relatively stable real estate market. And if the population is growing by the 250,000 people a year they need to get to the 2030 or 2040 number of 7.5 million, that's a lot of units every year that has to hand over, right?
Crazy.
So of course there's a lot of projects being built, but it all hinges on whether the government managed to hit this 250,000 people a year number.
But
And
again,
they seem to be.
It's also different markets, mate. Like for example, we focus on the ultra high net worth individuals, yeah, on the 20, 30 million dirhams plus, on the $10 million plus. I never seen so many billionaires in Dubai. I mean, all of these big guys are coming here, and they're putting 100, 200, 300 million dirhams in properties.
But are they bringing their businesses here?
Some of them are.
Because that's what you need.
Some of them
Them
are.
coming is fine and fun, but those guys can leave whenever they want. Buy somewhere else.
Look,
They've
as long
probably
as
got
they're
hands
coming,
elsewhere.
well, like our super high-end luxury market is good,
For the longevity of the real estate market, you need them bringing their businesses.
and I believe they are. Few of the guys I'm dealing with, they are shifting their headquarters or family offices to Dubai, because end of the day, they don't want to be traveling to wherever they have their offices, into meetings and signing papers. All of them want their office next to their home.
But it's interesting though, because I don't really see any other. People come over here to be a real estate agent to make a fortune, right? That's everyone's goal, right? To come out here, make a fortune. But like, what other industries like are really taking off over here? Like, I mean, I don't know myself, like technology or like AI infrastructure.
Hospitality
I'm
is
just
doing
curious if you guys know.
Finance is doing very well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bankers coming here. DIFC is booming every time you go to DIFC now.
The one in Abu Dhabi
it's
is
nuts,
mad.
isn't it?
The
Yeah.
number of new licenses being issued in ADG.
Yeah, they've run out of office space. Yeah,
ADG,
Crypto.
ADGM.
ADGM, yeah, it's
yeah.
amazing.
Crypto is there's a massive crypto market here at the moment.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Which obviously your finance sectors. Obviously not a huge amount in manufacturing.
No.
Health.
Healthcare, I mean,
Schools, I bet as well. Fuck yeah.
Construction's doing very well.
Yeah.
most tourism.
Yeah, are you seeing like projects being built at the ultra high net worth end? Are you seeing like projects like for the very wealthy
Not
being
houses,
built
but
now?
apartments. Yeah, not very many in the housing.
Not big villa
sector.
complexes like Emirates Hills or the Palm or anything
No.
like that coming
There
out.
are a few being launched.
There's a few
which
been
will
launched,
be-
but you know where that's going to be on a par with the Grove or Hills Views or Emirates Hills, like those kind of houses.
we can't say, but we know about it.
That's for another episode.
Yeah.
But do you think then that, I mean, you know, I don't know how much you guys know this, but like, is the new deliveries, are they at the lower end, mid end, high end, ultra high end? Are all sectors being served, or do you see, you know,
Joe would be the right person to answer
weight being pushed?
Yeah,
into
I
one
mean,
area?
there's definitely a few big developers trying to take a slice of that 1%, but I mean, a lot of them I've seen, they're struggling to sell like a lot of the really luxury off plan, you know?
No,
like,
Ben's talking about like the
No, even the really luxury off.
well, you're saying in like all categories, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're seeing like a lot of traction in the sort of 10 to 20 million dirham mark. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in that sort of market, and I'm sure you guys have seen that as well.
that's like 2.5 to 4.5 million quid.
Yeah.
You know, that's
What's a quid?
pounds. If you're finest English pounds.
Yeah.
As I say, in Abu Dhabi, the off-plan market's doing well, but now everyone's going for that upper like luxury end, you know, and no one's building anything
Sustainable.
mid-market or lower mid-market at all because they're all like, you know, it's not a cash grab, but things are selling, so you want to
Yeah.
sell like, you know, the expensive stuff. There's better margin to be made.
There are 2 beds, you know, in Saudi Island selling at almost 6 million dirhams off
The
plan.
Nobu resident.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
Didn't Abu Dhabi just sell something for 130 million dirhams?
Yeah,
A penthouse
penthouse
in
in
Nobu?
Nobu. Yeah. There's another one
130
left, I
million.
think, for about 160.
and it's going to go soon. I'm sure about it.
It's gonna what? Sorry.
It's going to sell soon because everything is going there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nobu's taken longer to sell than I think that they thought, but it is selling, and they don't have to sell it out in one day, right? It's only 120 units or something. So, you know,
It's the same
it
as
will
Armani
happen.
here. Like Armani residents, when that came out in the Palm, you were expecting that to be an absolute bun fight, and they've still got.
This is what I was just saying about that, because that was one I was just thinking of. Yeah, like they're still reaching out to people like, oh, come in, do a video, try and help us sell these products. You know, that didn't scream volumes to me. The Como residence looks cool. Hopefully they build it.
We have to edit it.
No, keep that in. Keep that in.
Because what might happen is, like, so what we're seeing in Abu Dhabi is there might be sectors that fall over with oversupply because everyone's like ignored, you know, because there are obviously a lot more, you know, middle class people than there are super wealthy. But if you're just building, you know, all at the top end and not servicing that bottom sector, you know, you might.
No, I think you're 100%. I think, you know, as Joe was saying, I think the struggle area is going to be these very expensive apartments. And everyone calls penthouses that they aren't. A penthouse is still the top
top,
unit
yeah.
on the top of the building, but everyone calls it a penthouse. But, you know, we have a huge supply of that.
Or Sky mentioned that is on the ground floor.
Ground floor. That's the Six Senses Sky Beach. Great. Ground floor and first floor. I think that's going to be an area of issue because there's not that many wealthy people that want to come here. And if they do, a lot of them are used to living in houses.
Yeah, and the thing is, even like, there's not really affordable, you know, townhouses anymore that are launching, right? Because let's say 3.5 million dirhams, that's like 700-800 grand. You know, for the average person, it's still a hell of a lot of money, especially in the UK. You know, you get a 4-bed for 300 grand, 400 grand.
Yeah.
Not saying these people would necessarily move to Dubai, but if you're looking at your average, you know, to get into a 3 or 4 bedroom townhouse is $1 million. It's like you already have to be earning a bit of money. You know,
it's easier for you to get a mortgage back home with, you know, than here. Here,
of course, yeah.
You have to put a
once you
higher
get over
down
6
payment.
months.
You have to prove a lot.
Yeah.
You know, certain industries is very difficult. I mean, anyone in real estate, which is our industry, to get a mortgage is not so easy.
And your signature has to fucking match. Oh my god, that's a massive.
You can edit that.
There you go. Keep it in. Keep the fox in. Yay. I think a lot of the thing that we're not really paying much of attention to is the diaspora, is the areas that are further out. Because, I mean, you can go to Town Square.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pull a number here, but I'm sort of 70% confident it's right. You can get a 3-bedroom house.
70% is really low.
That's good for me, mate.
Yeah.
That's good for me. A 3-bedroom villa or townhouse for about 3 million dirhams.
Yeah.
Right? And that's probably a 25-minute, 30-minute drive to the marina.
Yeah.
You know, so there are affordable places. And then you go out to
Is
Damac
3 million
Hills too.
dirhams affordable?
Yeah, I mean, what do you need from that? A million dirham? That's a 200,000.
I mean, it's nearly $1 million.
But what's affordable? I mean, the value of the dollar itself is losing value worldwide. And $1, doesn't buy what it used to 5 years ago. Well, not even say 10.
Yeah, but
So
that's
the affordability changed because everyone is earning more dollars as well. The pace didn't stay where they used to be. People are making more money.
Point being is that there are more affordable areas springing up and being developed all the time, right? This is one of the things that if you were savvy enough to buy a 2-bedroom in the Springs 2 or 3 years ago, you've doubled, maybe more your money. But if you're going further out, there are areas that are much, much more affordable, which is where people are going to be moving.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
It's the sign of any sort of real estate market. You get priced out of areas, and everybody can go to London and buy something in Kensington.
Definitely.
You have to, like, as our mum used to say, is
They go
cut
to-
your
they go
suit
to-
to
they go
cut
to
your
Oxford.
cloth to suit your coat. You live where you can afford. So in that
We lived
respect-
in London, but in Hackney. But actually, that was lovely.
It'll be interesting to see how far we actually get out. Like, we should all put a bet on it. Like, how far do we reckon in the next?
Hatter?
We'll put a pin in the map.
Eventually, like-
We'll all take a guess. Like, I reckon there's going to be a community here in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, look, with Damac Hills too. That is 45 minutes from the marina.
Oh man.
And even the prices there nearly double the last 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
You could get before a 3-bed townhouse for about 500,000-600,000 dirhams.
Yeah, now it's
And
2
that's
million.
yeah.
Well, the 4-bedroom math plan launched at 2 million now, 2.2. It's insane, isn't it?
And
So I
they're
guess,
selling.
Yeah, they're selling, selling out.
From this roundabout conversation that we've had, I think we're all pretty much in agreement
Yeah.
that the market is steady and strong,
I
and it's
believe
going to
so, yeah.
stay that
Yeah.
way until there's a Black Swan event.
Well, until the fundamentals change. I mean, the fundamental, I think, is population increase. And that seems
Off
to
the
be
back of company
consistent.
setups, SMEs opening up.
Yeah,
As the
and
population
as
needs to increase.
Fabrizio said, trouble elsewhere in the world.
Yep.
It's unfortunately it's a tough time.
It's a
globally.
safe
There's
haven,
a lot
yeah.
of
It's a-
places struggling.
yeah.
It is a safe haven. Yeah, so I think as long as we see
We're the
see
Switzerland
population
of
increase,
our area.
seem to be. Yeah, so as long as we see that consistent population increase, we will see price increases until delivery catches up with that, which obviously with the lag that you have in terms of property construction, it will take a long
But
time.
maybe by that time there's even more influx of people, so we might be on that difference between income of people and outgo of property.
Yeah,
So
could be.
by that rationale, we're not even at the crest of the wave. If there's
Yeah, I thought-
60,000,
I thought we were in a
70,000
crest-
units.
Like I thought we were in the crest of wave 2 years ago.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
And then we're off like only 70% of that. So it's difficult to advise today when friends and investors ask Fabricio, what do you think? It's difficult to we just say if you want to live somewhere, forget about a crash.
Yeah.
If you're
Because
investing,
you're not going to resell it anyways. And if you're investing, you're not investing money you don't have. You're a smart investor. You invest money you have. We're going to go with the statistics, but for us to predict markets right now is very.
I mean, whenever I speak to anybody about
borderline
investing,
irresponsible even.
is if you're investing to lease out, all you need to do is look at the lowest number that property ever leased out for, and make sure that that's your maximum mortgage. That is a fail-safe way of doing it. Yeah, sure, your deposit is going to be very high, but you'll ensure that if the worst of the worst happens and we go back to 2008 levels, 2009 levels, you're still going to be able to pay your mortgage. You may have no income from it, but that property will always be yours. Right? That's my advice to investors.
Wise words.
Well, I'm long in the tooth.
Yeah, it's a very conservative approach for you, actually, Barney. Normally, you'd
Realised I am very conservative.
You'd be a bit more,
I'm very
out there.
conservative.
He's conservative,
He's
by the
the
way.
lunatic with his
Really,
money.
yeah?
I am a bit of a lunatic. Yeah. I love
It comes in and he spends it on an investment like that. He spends stuff he doesn't even have yet on investment.
spending and investing, completely different words, mate. We
Spending
invest-
on an investment.
We invest, we don't spend. Do we need to have the money? Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
It's somebody's.
But we will make it. We'll make it.
Right. Well, I think at this point we need to draw a line
Yeah.
under this conversation. Thank you for falling for our clickbait. We appreciate you taking the time to listen to us. I've been Barney from Dubai.
Fabricio from Dubai also.
Yeah. Joe from Dubai.
Joe forgot who he was for a
Yeah,
minute
that's
there.
it.
Ben outnumbered from Abu Dhabi.
Ah,
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
See you again.
Cheers.